All right, I will be recording this meeting so that I can post it later. So if any of you have to leave early or some people haven't made it, then I will be sure to post it. It does take a little while for me to convert it and then to upload it and get it posted. So it won't be until the end of the day that I do that. I'm going to go ahead and just jump in. It's already 6 after, so I'll let people in as they come. Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're all here. Um, I just want to congratulate you. You guys get to give the NWEA assessment. Yay! So um, I promise to be 100% behind you and supportive, and we'll jump in to the slideshow. I'm going to give you guys a copy of this slide or can you see it? Can you see my slide? Okay, so I'm going to give you an access to this slide, which has all kinds of different things on it that will help you. Hopefully, I've predicted some of the things that are going to happen and I've linked them here. So I'll just start with a little video on the NWEA. Make sure that you can hear me. So this is a computerized assessment, and it's going to measure the growth from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. Okay, this is a really important slide because as the children are answering and they're on a roll and they're doing really well, the questions are going to get harder. So, sorry, let me get rid of that. So let's say Niana's got, all these math questions in a row. Correct, correct, correct. She's going to hit a wall at a certain point where she can't answer those questions anymore because they are going to increase in difficulty. That's how the assessment has like a path. Some kids get like 52 questions. Some kids get 56 questions because it just kind of depends on how they've answered. I don't even know if that's how many it is in first grade, but if you are aiding your kid or your student is getting help from a sibling or something like that, they're going to continue to get harder and harder and harder questions. So if they come to a point, and they will, that the questions are too hard and they start getting frustrated, then they need to miss it. So let them miss it, and at a certain point you're going to want to say, make your best guess. I can't tell you the answer, just make your best guess. It's okay because we haven't learned this yet. Because it's the beginning of the year, most of this content has not been taught. So if you think about that, it's like, what do you just like naturally know? And of course we don't want guesses to be correct answers, but they just need to make their best educated guess and move on in those cases. And they will start missing them, and then the questions will start getting easier again. Sorry, I guess I'm buffering. All right, we're taking ours 2 times a year. So instead of 4 times a year, we're taking it at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. This test is a little bit, I think it may be later than it usually is this year, because I feel like 5 weeks in and we're just giving the NWEA, I feel like we've already done some teaching, and this is supposed to kind of guide our teaching. So we tend to do it very, very early in the year. We tend to do it in January, and then we do it again at the end of the year. But because of the way this weird year ended up, they've reduced it to just 2 testing sessions, which I think there are pros and cons to. I love the middle of the year testing session because I feel like the first testing session, this one, the kids don't know how to take the test. They don't know how to manipulate the test. They may know the content, but they don't know how to take a test. And so that gives them a little bit of difficulty, and it skews the answers a little bit. And then also the middle of the year is like, woo, look at your growth. Give the teacher some new data and let me go ahead and reconfigure what I need to do for you. Well, we're not doing that middle of the year check, unfortunately. So we're covering math and reading only. If you have kids in the higher grades, they may also be doing language arts and science. Our standards are Indiana state standards. So it says it takes about 45 minutes. Our guidance is that the kids only test for 40 minutes total and per session. So that it kind of depends on what their frustration level is, because I don't want to say, yeah, make them test for 40 minutes when they hit their threshold at 30 minutes.
I think this part is for me.
So if you're at if your child is somebody who is like, I want to keep going, you know, because they're in a groove or something, you know how that is when you're working and something is going, you know, a certain way for you and you want to finish till the end. You can decide on that. You can decide, I'm going to let her keep going, or let me call Mrs. Marshall and let's go ahead and pause this test. You may even decide, this is a disaster today. This child cannot focus, or this child had a horrible night's sleep, or whatever. And you may just want to call me and let me know that this is not going well today and that you maybe would like to do it another time. And that would be fine, because we have literally all week to do it. And then I just read an email right now that said, it's possible to continue to test next week. So if something doesn't work for us this week, I mean, I still have to teach next week. I can't take any more time, but I could do, like, maybe my planning period could be where I'm letting you in and all of that. So 45 minutes is about how long it could take. It could be shorter, it could be longer. Now, if your child clicks through in 9 minutes, I'm going to be calling you and saying we need to retest. They didn't actually take that test. They just were like, click, 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 and they didn't actually listen to any of the questions. So, yeah, 9 minutes too fast. I would say between 20 and 40 minutes would probably be, 20 is pretty conservative. So I'd say maybe 30 and 40 minutes would be about the right time. Okay, that's basically it for this website. I really like this website, but you do not need to do any test prep for the NWEA. It tests what they know, or it tests what they have learned. So like at the beginning of the year, it tests what they already know. At the end of the year, it tests what they have learned. So if you come to this testingmoms.com website and do all this test prep, it's basically like loading your child up with information for a test the next day that they just dump in the weeks to come. It's not solidified. It's not with them. So I wouldn't do any kind of test prep, because we really want a good idea. You know, if they score really high tomorrow because we loaded them up with, you know, test prep, and then they dump it, then I'm teaching them at this higher level and they're actually really down here. I can stop for quick questions if anybody has anything real quick, or anything on this so far. All right, I'm going to keep on rolling then.
Hi, welcome to my classroom. I'm Miss Gracie, and this is Eli. Today we're going to do some special work on the computer that helps me know what to teach you next. Are you ready, Eli?
Yeah, I'm ready. How does it work?
You'll hear some questions and get to pick your answer. Pick the choice you think is right. Here's what a question looks like. Can you hear the teacher talking?
He's too quiet.
Click this speaker button to open the slider. Make the volume louder or softer by moving the dot.
Begin with the letter G.
That's better.
You can click anything that has a speaker to listen to it again.
Okay. I think the goat and gift are right.
Good job, Eli. Are you done with that question?
Yup, I think it's right. Let's try another one.
Sure. Click the next button.
You can move.
This
the
one is
cows
tricky.
to help
I
them
never
keep
saw
the
that kind of math
How
before.
many legs?
That's okay, Eli. We haven't learned this yet in school.
Should I just pick anything?
Look at your choices and pick the one you think it might be.
Maybe it's 16. No.
Okay, so take a quick look at this picture. Do you see the dotted rectangle that's like inside of the question? That to me means you can be moving this picture of the cow. So if we were actually manipulating this, I think you might be able to move that cow into that rectangle so that you can count the legs per cow, and you could be moving those cows in there. So anytime you see this, like, Torian, please mute yourself. Anytime you see this work area, you can probably drag something into it, okay? Now, if your child comes to this, have them, and they're confused, have them replay the question, how many legs do 5 cows have? They still don't understand the question. It's worded that way for a reason. You know, your job is not to clarify the question because it is literally worded that way for a reason. You can use inflection like this. How many cows do 5, or how many legs do 5 cows have? That is how I would guide that. I wouldn't say anything else except, you know, have you looked at all your answers? Did you listen to all the speakers, like this one and this one? Does this move? You know, maybe you could say drag that. Could you move the cow, and, or, you know, could you use that cow as help to help you with the answer?
For you.
You know, things like that. So there's a lot of ways to lead our kids the wrong way with this, because we think we're helping them, but in actuality, we are doing the problem solving for them, and that's not actually measuring what they can do. But if it's a test issue where they're like, I don't know how to answer this, or I don't know how to choose an answer, or I don't know how to get rid of an answer that I don't want, or I don't know how to move on, those are testing issues you can help with. So we don't want them to get wrong answers because they don't understand how to manipulate the test. If that is the case, then you need to help them manipulate the test without leading them to the right answer. So if no answer was chosen here and they're trying to go next, you would say, choose one of these numbers and put it on this line that represents how many legs 5 cows have. Mommy, I don't know what to do. Just make your best choice out of this area and let's move on. So I didn't do any helping except help them navigate how to do the test. Is that clear, you guys? Does that make sense?
That's too low of a number, and 25 is too high. I think 20 is my best choice.
Good work, Eli. It's okay when a question seems hard. Think about when you jump rope. That was hard when you first tried, right?
It was, but now I can do 17 jumps in a row.
That's great. This test is like jumping rope. When a question gets harder, it's like doing another jump in a row. So keep trying to answer every question and see how far you can go.
Okay, Miss Gracie, I'll try hard when jumping rope and when taking this test. Should I click next again?
That's right, Eli. Click Next to keep going.
I think I've got it now. Are you ready for your turn?
Okay, so I can't really see all of you at the same time while I'm sharing, so please just shout out if you have a question, parents. Some of the logistical things that you need to know in giving this test is that you must have your lock screen on. Now that is a setting that you have to do ahead of time. And there are 2 videos here to help you figure out how to manipulate lock screen. Teachers here have already started giving the test at my school building. And they were like, it's not loading, it's not loading. They're trying to figure out what's going on. So if it says like you're logistically, this is not okay, it probably has to do with the fact that you don't have the lock screen on. The test will not start unless you lock the screen. It's very easy to figure out how to do that and to figure out how to unlock it. So just follow these 2 links and it will help you figure out how to set up the lock screen. You have to do it ahead of time because you set a password to unlock the screen. So you have to be able to unlock it, right? And most of you have already done this. I sent an email out over a week ago about pop-up blockers. Some of the apps that we have running do not work properly because your pop-up blocker got turned on. So you need to go in and to iPad settings in Safari, like it'll be like settings, iPad settings, and then there'll be like a Safari link, and then it'll be pop-ups and you want to enable them. And last, let's take the practice test. This is, anybody can do this. You can pull it up at home and practice with your kid if you wanted to. The password is grow and the username is grow. So
match the uppercase letters to the lowercase letters.
the afternoon we take this, Monday, all of us will end up taking the reading test, unless you've made prior arrangements with me. 12:05, the kids will get on, and the school counselor has to do this bully prevention training with the kids. So she's going to do that for like 20 minutes or however long her session is. And then I'm going to say, okay, parents, because she's talking and I'm in there setting us all up. So then I'm going to create the test session, and then I'm going to get an assigned username and password for that test session only. I will give that to you right after our bully prevention training, and then you guys will just log them in. You'll lock the screen, and then I think, I don't know how to signal. Maybe I'll send it through Dojo. You know, is everybody in? I'm still waiting for Brendan. I'm still waiting for whoever, and then I press I'm ready, and then you guys press start session. That's a lot of information right now. Don't worry, I'll give it to you step by step when we're doing it, okay? So I plan on doing half, like the glitters first in the first hour, and then so the other kids will be on independent work, and then the sparkles or the glow will be in the second hour of class, so that I can manage half at a time and give the support I need to half at a time. And I will still give those independent work slides so the kids aren't just sitting around, you know, doing nothing. They can still be in a lesson. It'll just be like an independent day. Does that make sense? All right. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry?
Justin named him Little Justin at first, and Cool didn't want nothing to do with the dog. So she was like, okay. But
Okay,
then
Mrs.
when she did
Roper,
want something to do, she was like, Little Justin. I just
I can't figure I'm not sure who's talking, but I'm just gonna mute everyone, I guess. Okay, thank you. So let me just move forward with this. So I encourage the kids to press the speaker buttons and every single one of them and listen to all of it.
Match the uppercase letters to the lowercase letters.
Sometimes they can click on the actual things in here and hear what they're called. In this case, no. They're going to click the letter. Do you see that dotted square around it? That means it's selected. Now it's not selected, right? If I go over here, I didn't move it. This is frustrating to the kids because if they double click that and they try to move it over here, you know, it's not selected. So if it is lit up with a dotted line around it, it is selected. Then they can just drag it or tap it. I'm not sure on the iPad because I'm on my computer if they can just move it or if they have to tap, but I feel like they have to tap, and that was one of the issues we were having in the past. If it comes to this, let's say they did great and they've got, you know, 2 wrong. As a parent, you may be like, you may want to go back and check that, right? That's our instinct to be like, are you sure? We can't do that. That's guiding. That's totally leading. That makes them go, oh, I better go back and look. I've got a mistake, mom says, you know, or dad says. So when they come to that, we need to be like, double check all your answers. Do you hear how that is like not partial at all to you got it wrong, go back. So instead you could be like, are you finished? Straight face, just keep on like poker face the whole time because they're trying to read your face for help, and don't give them any. Don't do it. So just be like, did you check all your answers? Okay, move on. Let yourself have like a list of things you're allowed to say and only those things in your head.
Click on the word what.
This is a very confusing question because it doesn't look like there's anything for them to do here. There's no multiple choice answers. They don't know what to do. So I just say go back and re-listen.
Click on the word what.
Mommy, I don't understand. It says click on the word what. Which word is what? What? And so then well, maybe they didn't know these lit up. So then you could say, why don't you try all of these words? One of those is your answer. See how I'm not leading them specifically to an answer or highlighting one of these for them? So have them make their choice and move on. Mommy, I don't know what to do.
Click
That's okay.
on all the things that are animals.
Make your best choice and go on. So here it says all the things. So there may be more than one choice, buddy. You know, what if he chooses
Tree,
this?
lion.
You know, is that your best choice? Okay, go on. See how my voice is just constantly the same. I'm not doing any kind of interesting inflection to have them go back and fix that answer.
Look at the pictures. Which word is the best label for the pictures?
That's a really confusing question because it's higher level language. It's not a simple sentence for them. Which word is the best label for the pictures? Like they can't even answer to a question like, what did you do this weekend? Like they're not, that's a normal question they hear all the time. They want to give me some other kind of answer here. But this is worded this way for a reason. Don't change the wording is my point. Which word is the best label for the picture? I mean, you can just reread it to them. Which word is the best label for the picture? See how I'm kind of pausing and giving those intonations? Fine in this question, as long as I'm using the exact wording. Okay, and then they're just making their choice.
Farm,
It's reading
lunch,
it to them.
pets,
They can pick every single
lunch.
one. If I were in the classroom with them, I would say absolutely click every single one of those and listen to them. Because that's a test taking thing. I'm not giving them an answer. I'm not highlighting any specific thing. I'm telling them, go and listen to all of those. Decide what is the best label for this picture. See how it's a little bit more clear when you kind of break it down like that.
Listen to the story. Andy and Adam both liked the water. Every Thursday afternoon, they would enjoy it together. Andy would dive in first and splash Adam. Adam would laugh and dive in too. One of their favorite things to do was to slide down the water slide. They liked to see who could make the biggest splash going into the water, which shows where this story is probably taking place.
Great question. I mean, it tackles listening comprehension, it tackles vocabulary, it tackles story elements for setting, it tackles visualization, what we're totally working with right now, and key details. So if for some reason you give them the answer to this, I'm going to think, oh my gosh, this kid knows oral, listening comprehension, they understand visualization, they understand setting and character, story elements, sorry. I don't need to teach that to this child. So when you give them, if you give them the answers or you lead them to the right answers when they normally wouldn't have been able to answer this question, that's going to give me false information. So please do your best to hold back your help in answering questions. Go ahead.
So on a question like this, I mean, I know go back and listen to it, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the best way to just, you got to do it yourself? Yes. I mean, I know how Skylar gets sometimes. It's hard for her to pay attention to
Mm-hmm.
the question itself.
Mm-hmm.
She gets distracted very easily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how would I keep her on track for a question like this?
I would say have her listen to the question, have her listen to the story, have her listen to the question again, and then try the answer. And if she's still confused, have her re-listen to the story. If she's still confused, make your best guess, and move on. Yep.
Okay.
Because you're not wanting them to spend more than, I would say, 2 minutes per question. That seems excessive.
That was my big, like, how many minutes per question? Because she'll be like, just pay attention, listen.
Yes, so you know her, and that's going to be the benefit of you giving this test, is that you know her so well that you could say, I don't know if you heard the whole thing. Go back and re-listen. Did you hear the whole thing? Yes. Remember the question? No. Listen to the question. Now make your best guess and go on.
Okay.
If you need to listen to it again, go ahead. But if she's just kind of like, just choose and move forward. Let's be done with this, because it's
okay.
How many times is it going to take her to get it? It's never going to happen at that point. You know what I mean? At a certain point, that it's just beyond her and her ability. Okay. And that just brings me to another point. I'm not saying Skylar has a special need, but if you think it's possible that your child may have a learning disability, not saying it's Skylar, I'm not saying that about you, but in general, because I have a couple parents who are worried about that right now and have talked to me about that. And if you are one of those people who are worried about your child not retaining information, this would be a key piece of data that you could go with to the data meeting with their teacher and be like, well, look at their NWEA score. It was lower than kindergarten, or it hasn't moved, or they did this and then they didn't have it anymore. I mean, that's a key indicator that there is a disconnect in the way their brain is working. So if we influence this test in any way, we can't use that data piece. It won't be reflective of them. So it's just like one more weapon in our arsenal in figuring out what the kids know and how to help them. So let me step out now that I've given you that forward information about NWEA and let you guys ask some questions, if you have any.
So you are sending us like the links, right, in the email?
Okay, so are you talking about the links to get access to the test?
Yes.
The test is already on your iPad if you have the NWEA app. My first class, everyone had it. If you want to check right now, press the home button and look for the NWEA app. You can do that right now if you want. If you know it's there already, good.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
You said, look at what? Move, y'all, get off
So
me.
it's the NWEA app. It's an app. If you press the home button, you'll get out of Zoom, and then you can come back when you're done. NWEA. Torian, you guys got it? Awesome.
We don't got it yet, Miss Marshall.
Who said that? TJ, you guys don't have it?
Oh, yes, we do. I said, yeah.
Okay.
He just,
I mean, we didn't press it yet.
Oh, yeah, you don't press it yet because we're not going to start testing. So the thing that happens is I have to set up the testing session. If your child gets kicked out of the testing session, and that does happen, it happens to me even, I'm going to notice that they ended, and I'm going to probably call you and go, oh, hey, what was their score? Because you're going to write that down when they're done. It's going to say, there's going to be a puppy. Once they see the puppy, they have to stop, because if they keep clicking, the score will be gone, and I can see it the next day. It's not that big of a deal, but it's nice for them to know, oh, I got 170. Awesome. Last year I got 156 or whatever. So I'm going to see they're done early, and I'm going to call you and be like, hey, did they get kicked or did they finish? What happened? And then you're going to give me their score, or I'm going to set up a new testing session for them, which means you're going to have a new username and password. Every time they start a test, they get a new testing session. And it puts them back in the same question set, so they're not going to start all the way over. So yes, the answer is yes, you will have information ahead of time, and I will send these slides to you to help you with the pop-up blocker and the lock screen. Anyone else?
What time did you want the kids to log back in?
Today?
Yeah.
Right when I get off. When you guys are done, they can get on. So I can send that out on Dojo if you want.
I'm at work and they're at home, so I don't know if he knows what time, but I've got to go back in now. So.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for joining, and I'll post this, okay?
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, thanks.
Wow.
So I'm trying to think.
Is it? Hello.
Hi, Ms. Roper, go ahead.
Hello. Is it possible, like, for her to take the take the test at 8 o'clock instead of like start at 12 o'clock? Because that's going to be the only way for me to be like really hands-on during that time.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
I have all week to get you a testing spot that works for you. Okay. So I'm not stuck on 12:05 Monday and Tuesday. That is not, I do not want to make your life harder for you. I'm already asking you to do this, and I am hesitant to make you, I'm not making you, but the district is asking you to do this.
Right.
And so let me accommodate you if I can.
Okay.
Some kids need to test in the morning. That's just who they are, and they need to do that because they don't focus in the afternoon. Some kids need to take this test in the afternoon because they can't focus in the morning. I understand that, So you let me know. I'm going to give you a time. I'm going to set you into a schedule, and if that schedule does not work for you, then you let me know. All of you let me know, and I will make changes according to what you need. I want to try and get the testing done Monday and Tuesday so we can resume classes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because that's a lot of lost, instruction.
So do they have the option to be on there 8 in the morning or 12, or certain kids get on at certain times?
I am setting up your schedule like gold class afternoon, black class morning.
Okay.
But when I give you your time and you don't want that time, you let me know.
All right.
Because I'm not necessarily trying to reconfigure 40 students. You know what I mean? Like, hey, sign up for your time, whatever. I mean, is that what you guys want? Do you want me to just put a sign up sheet and be like, hey, 15 available for this time, 15 available for this time? I mean, I didn't think about doing it that way, but
No, that was good.
just to, I'm going to assign you a time. If it doesn't work for you, I will change it.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
And like I said, I really want it to be done by when if it isn't, it's fine. In my mindset, I want between 80 and 100% of the kids to be done testing for us to start classes back up this week. Now, admin says I can conduct these tests all week, meaning I am not available to Zoom this week.
Okay.
But if between 80 and 100% of our kids are finished with the test, I want to roll on lessons and just do like this portion of the time, maybe lessons are just shorter, and this portion of the time is for testing that last 20 to 10% of our kids that need to finish. Right? Why hold up 30 kids when only 6 of them need to test or whatever? Right? I'm trying to think. Anything else? Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so I'm just confused. Okay, so basically on Monday for when so what is the Go class going to start first? So the reading portion or
yes,
the
it'll be all reading on Monday for black and gold, all reading. And then Tuesday afternoon we'll do all day we'll do math. I'm assuming everyone is not going to be done, so I'm going to do makeup day Wednesday. Hopefully anyone who needs to make up or finish reading will do it in the morning, and anyone who needs to finish math will do it in the afternoon. So I will be breaking up the rest of the week like that, so that anybody who still needs to test, or if we're like, oh man, Niana, she just clicked through that. I know it. Mrs. Marshall, I told her to slow down, but she's not slowing down. She just, click, 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 click. Can we retest her? And I'll say, yes, let's put her in one of those slots at the end of the week.
Okay. Well, I got like one more quick question.
Okay, sure.
For the kids that get done with the either the reading test or the math test, like are you gonna assign them, different
yes, absolutely.
assignments?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm still gonna give Canvas slides the whole week for their independent time. So the morning work slides that I give you guys for them to complete in the morning, they're still going to be available to them.
Okay.
So they will still have their independent studies for the morning, and the afternoon is for their testing.
Okay.
Because if they were in school, if they were in class, yeah, I would have a lot more like light assignments, and we'd have more play and more breaks on those, because testing is like stressful, But let's talk a little bit about our language, not cussing, but our language around how we talk about testing. So if we are like, you need to go to bed, this is the most important thing in your life right now, all you need to worry about is eating your vegetables, not having a soda tonight, and getting in bed early so you can wake up and do your best on your test and everybody can be proud of you. Okay, that's not the conversation you have before testing. Never put that much stress on anything in first grade, okay? Nothing is that important. What you could say is, oh my gosh, you get to prove what you know tomorrow. I'm so proud of you however you do, as long as we do our best, So let's get the best edge we can. Let's go to bed early. Have a glass of water. You know what I mean? Like, don't make it about all of this is on you. You better, you need to get in the bed. What are you doing with your phone? Let's make sure that we're, getting our 9 hours of sleep right now. Yes, those things are all important, but we need to make sure that the way that we talk about the testing does not inflict more effort than is necessary, because this test is not the most important thing in the world. It is a helpful assessment tool, but they're already going to be frustrated by the test. The test itself is frustrating, and it's because it's hard. It's got to get harder and harder so it knows what they know. And I'm going to say 10% of my class cries during the NWEA. So 2 in 20, right? And all I can tell them is, hey, just take a break. Put your head down a second. Walk around the room for a second. Go to the bathroom. Get a drink. Take some deep breaths. Do a push-up. Run around the yard one time and come back. It's fine. Just make your best guess and go on. You haven't, guys, repeat after me. You haven't learned this yet. It's okay. Okay? So that's basically what's happening is they're getting them right, and they're getting into like higher level questioning. And the kids are freaking out. I don't know this. You're not supposed to know this. This is like big kid stuff, high school stuff. You can tell them it's high school stuff. You're not supposed to know this. You're just so smart they gave that to you. Get it wrong. It's okay. Come on, let's keep on going. Let's get done. Here's a popsicle. You know what I mean? Like, let's make it enjoyable and just get them through it without leading them the best we can. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr.
I had a question. What exactly is Dojo? Is that on the iPad already?
That would be an app that you could download on your phone.
Oh,
so
okay.
that it's your communication. Normally, parents and teachers use it for behavior. Like if your kids were in my class and I was like, "Ooh, I got to tell your parent you're doing a great job. Let me give you a Dojo point." There's points in there that make your phone ding when your kid's doing something right. I'm like, "Oh, look at you, Johnny, walking in the hall with your hands behind your back. Ding, ding, ding." You're at work and you're like, "Whoa, my phone's blowing up because of you. Awesome." It's like our communication link. But that's also our Facebook. That's where I put the information that I need you to know right now.
Oh, okay.
So you're one of two that are missing from that piece, and I worry that you're missing some information from us.
Okay.
Sorry if you ever feel lost. I try to remember to email you instead.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And anybody else? I don't want to keep you longer than. If you're feeling good, feel free to jump off and put your child on, and I'm available. So guys, you know how like you guys are like the astronauts flying the rocket ship, okay? You are like totally the pilots, and I am mission control. And when your, landing gear doesn't come down, I'm going to be like, I'm on it. Because all I'm doing is sitting here for 8 hours on this chair, not fun, staring at Dojo, which is going to be right next to me for when something happens that you need help with. And I'm going to be like, okay, got it, Isabel, I'm on it, Dojo. I'm going to stay on Zoom. I'm going to keep Zoom open so that if something's going wrong, you can jump on your phone Zoom, because you can't do it on the iPad, remember, it'll be locked. You're locking your screen. So then you can get on Zoom with me and be like, look, this is what it says. What do I tell her? Look at her, she's crying. What do I do? I'll be like, no problem. Or I could talk her through it. Or, if there's an issue with going on that they need me to talk them through it, I'm going to be on Zoom with you the whole time. Just jump in. Does that sound good? Okay. All right. We're looking good, guys. All right. Let me know on Dojo if you need anything. I will absolutely be on to answer tonight.